Did you pay for everything as far as open bar? Did you? Because that kind of gets
it
everyone
wasn't like
loosened
that.
up.
I got married at the courthouse.
That's a real man right there.
And I'll tell you what, the funniest thing afterwards, I never noticed till like 2 years into the marriage, the picture that we had with her, right above her head in Spanish, it said warning.
Did it really?
I really wish I'd have understood Spanish back then.
It's you're from Florida. You're from Florida?
Well, I was raised in Georgia, but I lived in Florida now.
Yeah, same. You're from the South for sure. It's almost like a shotgun wedding, right?
No, I didn't have to worry about that. Everybody thought she was pregnant, but she wasn't. If she was, she must have been an elephant.
Oh, man. Shots fired.
You made it clear that your standards are kind of...
No, I got standards for how they look. I said age.
You got Marcus rolling on the floor now.
He got you. He got you right there.
I'm teasing you, man. I don't want to get...
All right, well, we better move this on to the next segment before we get all too hot and wild up in here.
Yeah, all right, so...
Turn into a sauna all of a sudden.
I think these guys are sticking around for the next segment. We've got our ever-so-popular... pirate news.
Yeah, we do, baby. That's that world, local, and entertainment, and very light political.
There we go. We'll get into that coming up next.
All right.
Hey, if you go somewhere, I'll probably kill you.
Skull and Bones Radio.
Yo, this is Junior from Chula Vista.
And Will from Escondido.
This is Stephanie. And Elisa from Lemon Grove.
You're listening to Skull and Bones Radio.
On iHeartRadio.
The best station in SD.
All right, welcome back to the show. We are Skull and Bones Radio.
As always.
Mickey 3, Jean Perrion. We've got in-studio guests Marcus and Gabe.
Yes, we do.
Fellow veterans. So we want to thank them so much for being in studio with us.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys coming in.
Appreciate
they travel
you guys.
long ways.
All right, so this is our, it's probably one of our more popular segments that we've been doing.
Yeah, man, that pirate news, man.
Pirate news. We pretty much get into what's going on, what's trending, entertainment,
we do that world,
politics.
local, entertainment, and very lighthearted political news.
There we go, man. I should have let you get that out there.
But we'll never take sides.
All right, so the big thing that I wanted to get into was we found out that Thursday, earlier this week, July 20th, Chester Bennington from Lincoln Park, the front man, he committed suicide
sad.
By hanging. He was found by a worker in his home residency in L.A., and, he was found, he'd hung himself.
Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, I don't have any of the details in front of me, but I know he lived in Palos Verdes, which is the southern part of L.A., just north of Long Beach. And, apparently his family was away, and he took it upon himself to hang himself. And it's kind of sad, man, because not kind of, it is sad. He was really good friends with Chris Cornell, who was a singer for Soundgarden, who just hung himself a couple months ago. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he hung himself on Chris Cornell's birthday.
Yeah, they'd become, I guess, more closer. I guess they performed together, they collaborated together.
Yeah.
And they become really, really, really close friends. And I guess Chester Bennington actually performed Hallelujah at Chris Cornell, or at his wedding, or at his funeral.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It was only weeks later that Chester had taken his own life at the age of 41. I remember listening to these guys, growing up. I think they released Hybrid Theory in I think early 2000, and that was the album that really kind of defined, that genre, that new metal sound.
Hell yeah,
and they had hit after hit after hit, and I think for us, it's kind of in our realm of music.
Well, I know that like you and I being Texas boys, being raised in Texas, I know that they were always playing like Lincoln Park in the gyms, you know what I mean? So, like, I remember, like, Meteora, they'd put the whole album on, Meteora, just let it play from beginning to end, and we'd do whole workouts to that, the football team or, the track teams or, all our different teams would go in there and work out together, and, yeah, man, so it's really sad. We're really, really upset to hear about Chester Bennington. It's, I've never gotten to see Lincoln Park live, and I'm really sad about that.
I haven't either. I mean, I'd never, I'd wanted to, I'd never got the chance to, I'd never thought that I would miss that opportunity. So just to quickly kind of point out, Mike Shinoda, member of the band, he actually tweeted earlier, or after that, actually. He said, "Shocked and heartbroken, but it's true." He had Rihanna, Haley Williams of Paramore, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Jimmy Kimmel. I mean, this guy was, he's obviously a big deal.
Oh, he touched everybody,
industry,
man.
So,
yeah,
and
man.
like I said, we grew up listening to his music. So, it's everyone's kind of definitely feeling this one.
It's another legend gone, man. So sad.
Another legend, I guess. What, gone too soon?
Yeah, absolutely. It really sucks. He was like the Kurt Cobain of our generation, I think.
Yeah.
Well, we're just gonna get all the bad news out of the way first. That way we kind of get on to the happier news.
There you go. Go ahead and take it away, Mick.
Ah, man. So why don't you hit him with that old good red hot chili peppers over there?
There we go.
So world news. It's a good thing we got a good beat going behind this because this is a little bit crazy. Joint military drills between Russia and China have kicked off in the Baltic Sea, sparking widespread concern among NATO, and the tensions of a possible World War III are heightening. So, dear God, be with us, because we might end up in some kind of World War collision with these two superpowers, and who knows, maybe even North Korea might tag team in that.
Wait, so this is Russia and who?
China, man. So right now, there's currently 3 world superpowers. There's the United States, there's China, and there's Russia. So now what it looks like is China and Russia have started doing military drills together out in the Baltic Sea. Like, basically, they're partnering up. Kind of like Japan and Germany did back in World War II.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because there's always a similarity as well with, Italy even joined in with Germany and Japan during World War II. And those were kind of like our enemies at the time. And so now we're facing, we're not going to call them enemies yet, but now we're facing China and Russia as a possible threat. And obviously we've already got North Korea, who's kind of has some tensions with us. So it might be World War III, bruh.
I'm curious. These guys, they were boots on ground over there, right? What are you guys' thoughts on them as our enemies?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, you got to turn your mic on.
Oh, it's on.
No, Marcus.
I don't know if.
What you got, Gabe?
What, like enemies? I don't know about that.
Well, we're saying that, Russia and China, I mean, we might be going to war with them, man. Do you think we could withstand it, or do you think they might, be a head-on-head checkmate?
I think if they bring back us older veterans, we could stand it. I don't think the newer generation could take on these cats.
So we're screwed, basically.
China has how many people?
Over a
there?
billion.
So they could sacrifice, they could just drop some people on the United States and keep on ticking.
Yeah, that's
so,
true.
I mean, if you want to, from a military standpoint, that's how the military heads look at it. How many can we sacrifice and still keep going? So China, they got everybody on the planet, basically, the way I see it.
So you think we done?
Well, Americans are innovative.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like something is on the horizon. I don't know what. I know it's not going to be good. Obviously, with this new presidency that we have and everything that's going on, there's something crazy brewing, and I don't know, man.
I don't know either. It's
all this nuclear talk is, I guess it's always been, a talk, but nuclear attacks. China, I guess, or was it China or North Korea?
Mm-hmm.
I guess openly put out that they now have a warhead that will reach us. And they can equip that with,
Damn, did
they really? Yeah, they recently put that out.
I missed that, man.
John.
Yo.
In my 29 years of existence, I've learned that war stands for we are right.
On both sides?
That's what we think.
No, the question is, if you look at war and you ask the question, who's right? It's a never-ending battle. Who is right?
Yeah.
Because both sides are always right. In their own mind, at least.
And we as Americans, I don't know how you guys feel, but we're kind of like the world police. We can't really keep our nose out of other people's business.
Yeah, that's true, man.
We get ourselves into trouble.
Well, I think what we do is, even with, Iraq, I think we make it sound like, there's weapons of mass destruction, or we're going to go in there and save people and protect America and keep anthrax from coming over. But, man, it was about oil. It was oil money. That's all it was. And I think all these corporations are starting to run our government, and I'm already getting too political for this. So how about we move on to the next section?
All right, so here's what I got, man. So earlier today, this happened in San Antonio, my home state, my hometown, rather. San Antonio, Texas. At least 9 people were found dead.
Damn.
In what police say was a human trafficking crime. So, let me see here. This says that we're looking at human trafficking this evening. They were found in a Walmart parking lot.
Damn.
After an individual from the truck approached to ask for water. Police believe that the 8 deaths were caused by, I can't say this, asphyxiation.
Whatever that means.
And heat exposure. So this is actually really interesting right here. It says that
isn't that asphyxiation where you're choked to death?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so dozens of people, including at least 2 school-aged children, according to authorities, were in the tractor trailer, and the fire chief says that many of them had heart rates of above 130 and were hot to touch.
Wow.
About 20 people were taken to area hospitals for treatment, so that leaves a total of, I think they said about 38, 39 people total were involved in this, and 9 of them were dead. These people were in a trailer without any signs of water, so they're thinking, obviously a heat stroke, dehydration, and let me see here. It says that one guy was taken into custody, the driver, and whoever else they find will be facing, obviously, state and federal charges. So
that's crazy news, man.
Yeah,
There's always something going down in Saytown, though. San Antonio is a crazy town, man. Like, they can't ever, I don't know if they're known for anything, real positive, because it seems like they're always getting, you look like you're getting mad at me.
Well, no, okay, I'm thinking, I agree, I'm from San Antonio, and it's right there, right by obviously Mexico, and, it's not a really good place to be.
Nah, man. Other than the Riverwalk, I found San Antonio kind of a little bit boring.
Yeah. Well, it says here that this is not an isolated incident. This happens quite frequently. Fortunately, we came across this one, and fortunately, there are people who survived. But, there's at least 9 people, some of them being kids, that didn't survive.
Oh, man, that sucks. That's always crappy when you hear about kids getting killed. Well, anybody out there, we'll lighten the mood a little bit. Anybody out there feeling broke and depressed and feeling like you're down on your luck financially, I'll tell you what. Here's a little bit of news that'll probably brighten up your day a little bit. Johnny Depp is now Johnny Depp. I think we talked about this a little bit a while back ago, but the managers released some of the stuff the outlandish spending that he's been blowing his money on. So check this out. We got a couple things on here that the managers have released during these lawsuits. He bought a $7,000 couch from the set of Keeping Up with the Kardashians for his daughter. He spent $7,000 on a couch just because it was on the set of Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
That's so dumb.
Yeah,
it is.
It gets worse.
That's ridiculous.
He spent $17,000 on handbags from Prada. That's craziness.
For his daughter?
I didn't say. I think some of it was for him. He's got long hair and stuff these days. All his suits are apparently $7,000 suits. He spends $30,000 a month just in fine wine. He does a little swirly.
Yeah, I think,
Cabernet.
Hey, whoa,
a
time
bottle
out.
can cost
I got
like
a bottle of Johnny
$10,000.
Walker in the car, so what are you saying? It's Blue Label.
What does that go for, Gabe?
Yeah, what does that go for?
Normally in Florida, it's like $200 when I've been trying to get it, but out here I got it for $150.
What? That's a deal.
Hey,
Blue Label?
Yeah.
That's
Marcus,
the best.
We should all have a shot when we're done.
Can you get this? Look, this is what Marcus brought us. It's actually a bottle of fine, cool bottled vodka. So
yeah, man, that's true. He brought us a Skull bottle of vodka. Gabe, where's our gift,
how
man?
cool is, yeah, what'd you bring us?
You ain't getting no Johnny Walker Blue Label.
Hey, you got.
I know how much that bottle costs.
I'm going to turn your mic off, so you
We want some Johnny Walker, or you're done.
you spend all this money on yourself. But.
Yeah, right. Selfishness around here. All right, we got so that $30,000 a month in fine wine, which apparently Gabe condones. So he'll be right there probably with Johnny Depp.
yeah, Depp.
So let's see, $50,000 a month in rental fees. Apparently, this dude rents out condos, hotels, and spends $50K a month.
How crazy
in rental
is that?
fees, bro.
And there are probably a lot of these places that are like in Spain or somewhere exotic.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like even people in New York City probably don't pay more than at most maybe $10,000 a month, and that's like the people living the lavish life.
Money management, man.
Yeah,
That's
Jesus
crazy.
Christ, how do you spend that much a month?
He must have like an unlimited budget, or he just doesn't care.
Well,
I don't think
I'm
he
sure
cares.
Pirates of the Caribbean really kind of and all those movies, obviously, Pirates of the Caribbean really took care of him. I don't know. You probably know, being in the industry.
Yeah, he just had a movie come out recently, so I mean, I can imagine. I still get checks from Shameless, and that was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So I can imagine. The man. It's interesting when people start talking about business and these actors going broke. A lot of times, it's the people around them that cause that to happen. I mean, hey, but what do I know?
Hey, well,
his daughter is causing him to spend $7,000.
Yeah, I know, right? Daddy, I want $72,000
Daddy,
of Prada.
I want the Kim Kardashian or Keeping Up whatever it is with Kardashian purse or couch.
Yeah, that's so crazy. All right, so if you thought $50,000 a month in rental fees was